Welcome to the Utah Puck Report. I'm your host, Jay Stevens. Super glad to be here. We're doing it's just another Mammoth Monday, but I'm recording it on Sunday because I'm going to be at work tomorrow for the fire department. So, they kind of frown on me just doing podcasts in the middle of my shift. But let's talk about today. And speaking about being a firefighter, they keep telling us that waking up in the middle of the night or waking up to an alarm and then being put in super intense situations is bad for our overall health. So what do we all do this morning but set an alarm, get up at 6 in the morning to watch Team USA take on Team Canada? And I'll tell you what, that was intense. Those were some intense moments and a lot of fun. And I was, in my heart, I believed that the US could win. But Canada was so deep and so good. And just like I said in the episode last week, it's going to come down to goaltending, and it's going to come down to two goaltenders that kind of get not as much credit as they deserve, I think, especially in Connor Hellebuck's case. Bennington's already won a Stanley Cup. He's proven that he's a winner. I know a lot of people kind of get after him a little bit for being, little nuts, I guess would be the right way to say it. And for sure, he's nuts. And the game jumps right out. U.S. gets a lead, and I was just praying that we could hold on or get an insurance goal or something. And, of course, Kel McCarr is going to equalize it. Just such a smooth player. Just such a phenomenal player. But you can't pass up what Boldy was doing in this whole tournament. He just was an amazing player all tournament. And for him to get the first goal, then McCarr to equalize, and then it was just goaltending. Yeah, the shots were about double for Canada, and, I don't want to spend too much time on it because I'm supposed to just talk about the Utah Mammoth and Utah hockey, but, Keller's on there, so it counts a little bit. The OT was just unreal, and to go to 3-on-3, and for everybody that's complaining that it was 3-on-3 and it's not truly a gold medal if it's 3-on-3, let's not forget that when Canada won it last with their NHL players with Crosby's goal, that was a 4-on-4 overtime, the same way the NHL was playing it at the time, so it is what it is. Those were the rules that were set up before the tournament, and nobody cried about it then. And if Canada would have won it, I'm sure all the Canadians would have been just fine with it. It was disappointing to hear Nathan McKinnon say, watch the game and who the real better team was. Well, you had a wide open net, buddy, and you missed it. So it comes down to clutch plays. And Hellebuck made clutch plays, and then of course Jack Hughes, after taking a puck to the mouth, getting 2 teeth broken out of his mouth. I don't even think he missed a shift. Comes right back and scores. And such a big turnover. And we got to point out that at the beginning of that play, there's a play down tight in the net. Connor Hellebuck makes that big poke check and stops the offense for Canada. And then McCarr with a ill-timed, this could have gone either way. At the blue line to break it out, Kel McCarr pinches, and I think it was, I can't remember who was breaking it out for the U.S. I should have written this down, but if McCarr would have stopped that, the U.S. player would have been caught way out of position, and that I think that would have ended the other way. But as luck would have it, we got the puck bounce. U.S. goes the other way, and it's McKinnon, McCarr, and McDavid on the ice at the time. 3 of the best players, and you just get such a great setup for Jack Hughes to win it. And I think it was Zach Werenski was on the ice for that. I think it was him that got that pass. Anyway, amazing. Say whatever you want about the Tkachuk brothers. Say whatever you want about Austin Matthews as a leader. I think he proved he's a leader. And for all the guys that, especially in the media that doesn't cover Toronto that often, we don't know what he's like in the locker room. You don't know. And for so many people to say he shouldn't have been the captain of Team USA right from the beginning, just shows that we don't really know what's happening in that locker room. He could be a phenomenal leader. It was immediately pointed out by the Hughes brothers that everybody that's talking about him, he just proved himself as a leader. He won a gold medal for Team USA with his leadership, and something that hasn't been done since 1980. So just hats off to Team USA. What an amazing, amazing game. And my sad part of the whole thing is seeing such a talented superstar like Clayton Keller not get any playing time. That just tells you how intense it is and how how high the skill level is. And I think that if it's just skill level you're looking for, I think Clayton Keller's right there. And I think he gets a ton of playing time. I think the part that the coaching staff thought he didn't blend in enough, and they said this before when they left him off the Four Nations roster, is that it was going to be a super physical game, and I think they were just afraid that he'd get bumped off the puck too often. Um, I mean, who knows? He didn't get the chance. Um, Clayton Keller got 9 minutes and 51 seconds of game time against Germany in the preliminary. He got 12 minutes and 57 against Sweden in a quarterfinal. He got 3 minutes and 52 seconds against Slovakia in the semifinal, and he got 38 seconds in Sunday morning's gold medal game. So he did touch the ice. I didn't even see it. I was looking for it. So total time on ice, 27 minutes and 18 seconds for Clayton Keller's Olympic experience. I thought it was great. He got a gold medal, and he was with the guys that he grew up with the Kachuk brothers, and guys that he won gold with for Team USA in the World Juniors. So more Olympic experience. The guys are going to come back playing like they're going to come back just fired up and ready to go. I think I saw Veggie. He's been back here skating for the last few days. I saw him this morning at practice. He does not look like he's tired at all. He looks like he is ready to go against the Avalanche as they come into town. So let's switch a little bit here. One thing I want to talk about too is we've got a fundraiser coming up with the Utah Grizzlies have teamed with Be the Hope, which is support for childhood cancer. And I'm going to have Lauren Vengels jump on the show real quick. We're going to talk about that. This will take about 10 minutes. And then it's Mammoth Monday. We're just going to talk about Mammoth and the matchups. So here we go. Okay, yeah, here with Lauren Vengels from Be the Hope. And we're going to get into Be the Hope, and we're going to get into all the fun stuff. But, man, how about that Olympic game this morning? This is a Sunday afternoon broadcast, so we're all still kind of just reeling from that amazing hockey game. What'd you think about that?
I have not seen so many people so stoked about the Olympics, it feels like. But, between the women's hockey and then the men's hockey game, which both were phenomenal, definitely go Team USA. And it's great to see, Keller and some of the other guys that are on there, and we all get to root them on. It's it's amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool, and it's nice. And I know, and I just looked it up. Keller only got 38 seconds in the gold medal game. He was averaging under 6 minutes a game in the games that he did get to play when he wasn't healthy scratch, which is like it blows your mind. But it's nice to still have that connection, right? Like we have a Utah guy, our Utah Mammoth guy, playing in the Olympics and winning a gold medal, and then Hillary Knight being a Utah resident and playing in the gold medal game, winning a gold medal. It's nice to have those ties to Utah and with such huge accomplishments by Team USA. So yeah, a lot of fun. Were you always a hockey fan?
I was not necessarily. So meeting my husband, well over 8 years ago, and he's a huge Flyers fan, grew up Flyers. And meeting him, I got to watch the games with him and learn, about just learn about the game, and became a bandwagon hockey fan, as far as the Flyers go, definitely go gritty, my spirit animal. But, when we had moved here to Utah, my thing was if we get a hockey team here, I get to be a hockey fan, like a real hockey fan for my home team. And, interestingly enough, it was less than a couple years later. And, well, at the time it was UHC and whatnot, but just phenomenal. And, I'm all decked out with all my stuff to include earrings, but it's nice because I understand the game. I understand the penalties. I understand, some different stuff that not every fan does. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate understanding the game to be part of like a really good fan, it feels
Yeah,
like.
yeah, that's cool, and it's fun. I think everybody's, we had a really good fan base here, and then it exploded with a lot of new fans, or that were casual fans before. But it's good to see everybody catching up and getting to be a part of it. And I think today is just going to help grow the game, 100%. What and these Olympics, having having Team USA do so well is definitely going to help us in Utah as well. Because even if you're not a Mammoth fan, if you have to be a USA fan if you're from USA and you live in Utah. And anyway, so tell us a little bit about Be the Hope and what that is and how you got. I mean, you started it, right?
Yes, I did. So Be the Hope came about roughly last May. That's when we got our 501c3 registration. And Be the Hope was born essentially from my cancer journey as a cancer mom. My daughter Ayla, she's 18, but she battled acute myeloid leukemia, which is the adult version of leukemia. So it makes it pretty rare for kids. I think it's like less than 800 per year in the US.
Oh,
And, during her battles, we received so much help and love and support that, it was just really nice to be like, you know what, one day I want to give this back. And it really wasn't until her second journey in 2023 where, things got critical. She had a bone marrow transplant. Things went sour. She was in the ICU and intubated for 5 weeks straight, given,
oh man.
roughly 20% chance. Yeah, it was dark. It was dark and it was scary and it was ugly. And it was difficult because I know that I'm not the only family or was the only family fighting at that time. But the like I said, the love and support was really where I wanted to give it back. And interestingly enough, so what kind of put the fire under my butt, was that I did a campaign with what was LLS last year, and, I had Puck Drop Podcast helping out,
Yeah.
Overtime Cards, they were doing a signing with Liam O'Brien, and, it was really there where, even you and I had gotten talking, and we were like, let's do a game. Let's do, some of these different things to help support these childhood cancer families. And I was like, okay, I guess that's kind of like the call moment for me to go ahead and just pull the trigger. And it's been the most challenging yet rewarding year, to get things going and the ball rolling and stuff like that. But it's great. This year Utah Mammoth actually donated a bunch of tickets to the pediatric cancer families in the area. And I had the absolute honor of joining 80 cancer kids and their families that have never been to a Utah Mammoth game before. And just to see the pure joy in these families' lives that cancer wasn't the forefront of what they were focusing on. It was about hockey, and this sweet guy behind me, this kid, he was cheering for everything, every pass, every whatever. And he's like, oh man, he's like, I guess I should just kind of be quiet because I don't know what I'm doing. And I said, oh no, honey. I was like, you cheer for whatever you want. I said, but just wait until there's a fight. And interestingly enough, there was an amazing fight. It was the Flyers game in January. Interesting. And with one of the fights that broke out, he was just like, oh my God, there's people excited about a fight. And I was like, oh yeah, dude, this is nothing. It's amazing. But no, with the community and the hockey community that have been so loving and supportive, I'm really excited to see where this goes. So a lot
Yeah,
of
me
work,
too.
but worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy because you just find yourself so buried in it, and I'm sure you know there's got to be some feeling of reward when you're able to help a family out, like you were helped out. And first, I just want to say, I'm so sorry for you, and that the fight you guys had to go through, and to go through it twice, like nobody deserves that, and it's just one of those moments where you're like, life is unfair, and it's, but to come out on the other end with, you know, you've got life, everything's your daughter's in remission, right, and everything's looking
Yeah,
better.
2 years, 2
Yeah.
years
Oh,
this time. It's amazing.
yeah. I
You
can't imagine. It's just the emotion, the rides that you have to go through. I mean, we talk about going through the emotional ride of a gold medal game, but to have your kid going through that, I just can't bear to think about it. And I'm just proud of you guys, and I love that you turn it around, and now you're trying to help somebody else, and so many other people, and trying to reach out. And I love that the hockey community is the way to do it. I like to believe that we're different than a lot of I know other sports help out, but I just feel like the hockey community is a little more than normal when it comes to trying to help and having people like you behind it and helping so much and trying to spread the love and make us aware of that there's other things going on. Make us aware that we need to help out a little bit more. That just helps. And people like you are saints and just appreciate all the work you do. And I know you have your reasons for doing it. So tell me now, what's coming up and how can we help?
Yeah, so the Grizzlies, they have Grizz Fight Cancer weekend this weekend, February 27th and 28th. They are going to be playing Tahoe, but they have allowed us space to sell some tickets, and we get a 20% kickback on the ticket price itself. And thank you, huge thank you to Rush Family Insurance. They purchased enough tickets so that way on Saturday we're able to set up a table. So our goal is to, sell 50 tickets for the Friday's game so we can set up a table too and bring awareness, because not a lot of people know statistics about childhood cancer. But as of right now, it's 1 in 285 kids are going to be diagnosed with cancer before the age of 20. And 1 in 5 will not survive 5 years. And if it's different cancers like neuroblastoma, that's 1 in 2, and that's not including relapses. And so this game is to kind of cheer on and support cancer as a whole, but we get to bring childhood cancer to the table and bring some of that awareness.
Yeah, some of the awareness, and then you guys help with the support for the parents that are going through the one of the hardest things I can ever imagine going through, and it's just amazing that you guys do that. So, how do we buy tickets so that you get credit for this? Is there a website that we can go to?
Yeah, so well, we've got a specific link that I can get that over to you.
Okay,
And through the link and stuff like that, there's a way that you can pick. There's different sections. I wanted to keep that open because I know different people like to sit in different places during the game. Yeah, but through the actual link, we're able to do that. And if it's something that you're not interested in joining a game, you can always reach out and donate a ticket to another person or family, or help support Be the Hope through donations and different things like that.
do you have a regular donation link on your page too? Like, if not selling a ticket, if we just want to throw in some money, there's a link there for that too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, on our website or even our social media for Be the Hope Foundation on Facebook, we have like the little donate button and stuff that's on there, that makes it available. But yeah,
Very
we've
cool.
got a lot of different programs and stuff that we're trying to get going to help support not only the parents. Food insecurity is a huge issue for inpatient parents. Set up some different funds and support the siblings, because it's definitely a family fight.
Yeah, it has to be. Okay, well, that's amazing. That's I guess I never even thought about food insecurity while you're going through all this stuff. I've done work with the Ronald McDonald House in the past where, they were able to house families while they're going through these horrific things with their families. And it's awesome that you're doing it. And we appreciate what you're doing. And I hope everybody that's listening right now just takes a minute. So tell me the website again.
So the website for us is be the hope utah.org, and it's BEE, because wrong side.
Those cameras are confusing. BEE.
uh,
So be the hope utah.org.
yes.
Okay. And we'll put that link up as well so people could it's simple. Just click it. Send some money. Just Venmo some money. It's so easy to help. And it's such a great cause. And Lauren, like you said, you and your family are saints. And I know you work tirelessly at this, and we're proud of you and we want to support you. So I hope this gets you a ton of support so you can go out there and keep doing this work of an angel.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. This is such an honor to be on here and finally get to see you face to face again.
Yes, it's very awesome. Okay, Lauren Vengels and be the hope utah.org. Okay, very awesome. One of the things Lauren said to me right before she got off, and I wish I would have talked about this while she was here. She mentioned how when you're going through this and it's taking all of your money, and you're sitting next to your kid in the hospital, and maybe your insurance covers the kid in the hospital and their food, but you're sitting there and you don't have food, and you might not have the money or the time for food. So just help. Just find a way to help. I never thought about that. And if you live within the area, you can't stay at the Ronald McDonald House. Is the other thing I should have said as we were talking about that. So the Ronald McDonald House is great if you live from outside the area. You can come in, but if this is somebody just down the street from the hospital and your kid's going through it, you just need a little bit of extra help. So Lauren, thanks for all you do, and please just throw her some money. Let's get this going. I'm gonna do it too, and let's just donate it some money. Okay, back to the Utah Mammoth, the Olympics. Uh, Men and women are golden, and Keller's got a gold, and Mata's got himself a bronze, and so we're back at it. The Olympic break's over, and we're right back at it. The Utah Mammoth were hot going into the break, to the point where people were like, maybe we don't want this break. This is such a bad time for us. And on the flip side of that, the Colorado Avalanche were struggling, and now they're going to get Landeskog back. Things might balance out for them. If you remember, they'd only lost like 2 games in regulation, and then they dropped several after getting some injuries. So Colorado comes into town with a record of 37-9-9. They're first in the Central. And then we take on Minnesota with a record of 34-14-10, second in the Central. So both the upcoming games are going to be, their conference opponents. We're worried about that because depending on how Utah does with these games, if they win both these games at home, which they really can, then that's going to keep them in that playoff spot and improve that playoff spot. If they lose it, that could knock them out of that wild card spot. We're coming back. It's not like a middle of the road break. We've already played 50 plus games, so there's less games left. I think Utah is looking hot, and the biggest thing back, I mean, besides being in this divisional rivalry. And we're, not fans of Colorado, but Cooley is coming back. He hasn't played since December 5th. He's been practicing full time without a contact jersey during the Olympics. He had 23 points in the 29 games he'd played. Utah did go 9-1-1 when he was not in the lineup, but just shows that Utah has some depth. Kerfoot is coming back. That's going to help us on the PK. He was one of the second ice time leaders before getting injured on the penalty kill. So that's pretty good. And people were talking, oh, Utah's doing so hot. Where are they even going to fit Cooley in? Cooley's one of the best players on this team. You put him right back on line 2 in the center. I think you're going to see, Paterka, Cooley, and Gunther. And you keep Keller, Schmaltz, and Krause together. The Kerfoot thing gets a little more interesting for me because if you watch this show or listen to this show, you know that I'm a big fan of Yamamoto. I hate to see him come out of the lineup. I think the thing that made the most sense to me as I was watching practice today is Carcone and McBain, Kerfoot on the 3rd or 4th line. What that does for, Spicy Tuna and Yamamoto. I think Yamamoto's earned a spot. I don't know. It's gonna be. I'm glad I'm not the coach. I'm glad I'm not the one figuring all that stuff out because today, and keep in mind, Schmaltz didn't skate today, and Keller obviously wasn't here today. But the lines were Tanev, O'Brien, and Krause. Tanev and O'Brien obviously filling in for Schmaltz and Keller, and then McBain, Cooley, Gunther, Paterka, Hayton, Yamamoto. These lines could work. I mean, this could really work when it comes down to it. And then Kerfoot, Stenlund, and Carcone. I would rather have McBain in the middle there, and that's just from just from what I've seen. And obviously, I'm no Bear. Bear knows more than I do. But you got these teams coming in, and a lot of people were talking like, well, is there going to be Olympic wear down? Are these guys not going to be ready? Veggie looked ready, and then after practice today, we got a chance to talk to JJ Paterka about his Olympic experience, and I just want to play a little bit of that interview for you because it's pretty cool to think about. What they got to do. So here's Paterka after today's skate.
JJ, coming back from the Olympics, first off, what were your favorite moments of participating in the Winter Olympics?
I think just the whole experience. I think competing with my buddies from Germany, for our country, and kind of like just soaking in the whole Olympic feeling.
What stood out about the Olympic feeling when you were in the village, seeing other athletes in the dining halls?
Yeah, I think that was the best part. Kind of like got to talk to them, kind of like see how they prepare, how they live day by day basis. So I think just getting to know a lot of them.
To be on your country's team with the best players from Germany in the world, how did that help elevate your play and motivate you moving forward coming back to this NHL season?
Well, it was just I think just super fun being around those guys, especially the guys that play overseas as well. Kind of like playing on the same team for once in a while, so just enjoying that, but obviously super excited to be back now.
You were able to score and get some momentum with your team. What does it mean for you to be able to score a goal in the Olympics?
Oh, obviously felt good. I think overall had like a lot of ups and downs team-wise as well. Would have wished we would have did a little bit better, but I feel like we progressed as the tournament went on for sure.
Now that you are back with the Mammoth and your eyes are going back to this NHL season, what's the momentum and the energy in this locker room as you guys gear up for 3 divisional opponents right out of the break?
Oh, we know it's a tough schedule and until the end, so we're super excited for it to start. Obviously want to gain some momentum right away and get it going.
Okay, so there you go. I don't think the Olympic thing is going to be, it's not going to phase anybody. Nobody's going to be tired. If anything, McKinnon and those guys are going to be, McKinnon, Makar, those guys are probably going to be a little fired up when they come in. And that's the interesting part too, is if we get, let me look at my lineups here, getting our players back, I think you're going to see Cooley versus McKinnon. If Cooley does indeed center that second line, I think he's going to be lined up against McKinnon quite a bit, trying to shut him down as a second line forward or center has to do. So that'll be interesting. I think when we're looking at Avs strengths coming in, if you look at Colorado, obviously they're one of the top offensive teams in the NHL. They're amazing 5-on-5. For some reason, they can't score on the power play. It makes zero sense to me. I've never been able to understand it. Maybe you're getting sick of me talking about it, but it's one of those things that make you say, and it just doesn't make sense. So if you talk about weaknesses for Colorado going into this, they've lost 3 of their last 4. McKinnon and Makar have been kind of inconsistent, and then their goaltending dropped. They were the 2 top goaltenders in the league, and they've dropped 15.1% in the last few weeks of the season before now, and they dropped to 25th overall in the NHL save percentage wise. So hopefully Utah can exploit that 5-on-5 because neither team is any good on the power play. They're the 2 worst teams in the league on the power play. Again, blows your mind. As Minnesota comes into town, I'll talk a little bit about this today and I try to get another episode out before that game. But if you look at Minnesota, they are a defensive fortress. They come in allowing 2.86 goals against, which is 8th in the NHL. Their PK is 15th in the NHL. And, they come in with a record of 34-14-10, and they're 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. So they're very hot and balanced. They rely a lot on Kaprizov. Their blue line isn't that great, so I think that's where we're going to win in the matchup. When you look at star power against Colorado, like I said, I think it comes down to how is Cooley going to be in his first game back since December 5th, matching up against one of the most talented players you've ever seen ever. Not that Cooley's not going to be. But anyway, and then I think it depends. Schmaltz will be up against Kaprizov quite a bit. We'll see how he can shut him down. And those are the 2 big matchups I'm thinking about. I'm not going to be surprised if Veggie plays both games. No disrespect to Vitek, but I just think they're just going to keep riding Veggie as much as possible, especially coming off a break like this. Veggie didn't play any games in the Olympics, so I think he's well rested. What do you think? Tell me. Hit me up. Send me messages. Light up my Facebook comments or my Instagram comments or however you can get a message to me. Let me know. Let me know what you think, and we'll get to some stuff. We'll talk about more stuff and whatever you feel like we need to talk about as far as the Utah Mammoth go. And I'm excited about it, and I hope to see you guys all at the arena at the Delta Center on Wednesday night as the Utah Mammoth take on the Colorado Avalanche. Huge game to come right back and start that real playoff push after the Olympic break. And after that, we'll talk after Wednesday night and see how that goes. And that is the Utah Puck Report.